Hey folks, it's Jerry with Russian Reality. Today we are at Sosnovka Park. It's a really nice park just on the north side of the city, about 300 hectares, and just a beautiful place. And we're going to take a walk, and I'll share some stories about the history of the park and all the things that have happened within it over the course of the last a couple hundred years. It's a pretty amazing story. So we'll share some of those, and you can take a look at the beautiful day that we're having here in St. Petersburg. So I'll kind of give you a glimpse of everything as we're taking a walk through the park. Not too many people this time of day. It's still working hours, but we've had quite a few folks coming through here. Just had a wedding party doing some photo shoots, and we'll talk about the Russian wedding system, and getting married during the week is actually fairly common. Not everyone can get married on a Saturday, so it's a unique system. Of course, I got married here, so I have a little bit of experience where that's concerned. But we'll talk about that sometime in a future video, perhaps, and especially for some of you folks who are thinking of coming here and getting hitched. But anyways, Sosnovka Park. It's a huge place, but we're going to take a little bit of a walk through some of the more iconic areas of it. When the city was just founded, or it was at least young, this area was really just had a few country homes, and so you'd have some, I guess you'd call it dachas out here, and this area wasn't super populated. Over the years, the city expanded, and they preserved, like I said, 300 hectares of it, but it used to be just a mammoth forest. Well, we had to cut out a little bit there. Had some gimbal issues. It was like on its own brain, deciding which way I was going to look, even when I didn't want to look that way. But so a couple things. Turgenev and Belinsky used to walk these same woods back in around the 1840s to fairly famous Russian writers, and so it's kind of held its charm. Been here for a while. It doesn't matter how many times I come here, I'm just always fascinated by just how beautiful it is, and how peaceful and comfortable. You can see almost 200 years ago, like I mentioned, you'd have Turgenev and Belinsky walking these pathways, or making their own maybe at that point in time. But it's pretty nice. I'm glad I'm out here today to share a little bit of this with you. Some people have asked me, hey, how can we support the channel? For now, what you guys could do, if you really want to support the channel, like, subscribe, share it with your friends, encourage them to like and subscribe. All those things go a long way to help us reach more people, spread a bigger message that, hey, Russia's not perfect, but it's a wonderful place, and the people here are wonderful, and that's really our aim. So, if you'd like to see more of these videos, and you'd like to support us in any way, shape, or form, we totally appreciate it. But please, like, subscribe, make a comment, good, bad, or indifferent. Tell us what you think. Tell us what you'd like to see in the future. We have lots of plans, but You know, we can only do so much in such little time. But we appreciate you watching. We'll continue on to see the rest of this beautiful park. So, walk a little bit further down this path. Takes us to one of the several monuments here. Like I said, pretty storied history for a park. Any of you are familiar with Lermontov, great Russian writer. Kind of a big flash in the pan, unfortunately. He only wrote for about 6 years, but just did some brilliant stuff. And he died in a duel. Oh, far away from here, way down in the south of Russia. However, one of his most famous duels, and he was not averse to a duel, came here at Sosnovka Park. So Lermontov apparently picked a fight with the French ambassador's son, of all people. And they agreed to a duel. And they came out here to Sosnovka. And fortunately, neither one of them was injured or killed. However, it did draw the ire of the Tsar, who was pretty unhappy at the whole incident, as was the French ambassador. So yeah, that got him into some hot water. Fortunately, as I understand it, his superiors actually stuck up for him and said he was defending the honor of the nation. And as a result, he held on to his commission, but was sent to his unit in the south, where it wasn't much longer before he fought another duel, one in which he was killed. So, kind of sad. It's a short life for Mr. Lermontov, because again, fantastic writer, just did some brilliant stuff. So if you haven't checked him out, you should. Great stories. So amongst the many activities that are featured here at the park, over here we have volleyball courts and basketball court. There's also tennis courts here. Quite a few things to keep folks occupied. We're going to go visit another spot, and I'm hoping we'll have some of our pensioners out there. But they like the area too. There's a nice little area that they like to come to, and they play chess and narde, which is a variant of backgammon that's extremely popular in Russia in general. I play with my Uncle Yura all the time. So it's something they do. They come out and they visit the older pensioners and play some shakhmate, which is the Russian for chess, and narde. So hopefully we'll catch up with them. We'll go over here and take a look, see if they're there today. So we've made it to the center of the park now. There's a small children's playground right behind me. And anyways, beautiful place, great day. There's actually a slight breeze, so it's not too hot. I can actually have a jacket on, and that makes things very comfortable. So anyways, we're coming up on next area. We talked about Lermontov and his uneventful duel, but one that was famous nonetheless. But we're going to go visit another really cool monument on our way to see if our pensioners are here playing chess and backgammon. So let's go take a look. So we're coming up on one of the monuments in the park here. During World War II, the Great Patriotic War, as we refer to it here in Russia, all of St. Petersburg was surrounded. It was Leningrad back then. It's known as the Siege of Leningrad, and we'll probably have a couple videos talking about the siege itself, because it's an important moment in not only St. Petersburg history, but in Russian history in general. But 900 days, 900 nights, St. Petersburg was under siege by the Germans and the Finns. And this is during World War II. But in that period of time, as the city was under siege, they turned part of the park into a hidden airstrip so that they could fly light planes in and out of the park, especially at night, without being detected by the German Air Force. And of course, this provided a lot of things for the city. One, it provided some air defense, but it also provided a way to bring much needed supplies into the city, which was being starved to death. And so this airstrip, pretty significant, and they built a monument here, I believe it was in the late 60s, early 70s. They went ahead and built the monument. But kind of cool thing, building a airstrip in the middle of a forest, in the middle of a city, in the middle of a war. Okay, so I'll do a translation of the monument here because it's pretty cool. On the left side, it says, on this site, this frontline Sosnovka airfield, this monument was built in October of 1960 by a grateful nation, or for posterity. On the right side, a little bit more poetic, it says, the defenders of the Leningrad skies took off from this place during the nights and days of the blockade. For the motherlands, they risked their lives and won, in battle, victory. So someone in the distance is setting off fireworks, or there might be a firing range around here. Russian gun laws and firing ranges are quite a bit different than the US, of course. It does sound like it's a firing range. I was not aware of a gun club here, but so we're coming up on a really cool area. I like. They've done some modifications since the last time I was here. They added these swings for folks, but I think the coolest part is that we get these pensioners out here, and they're playing dominoes and narde and chess. Looks like we even have a checkerboard set up here. So no chess players today, all dominoes. Slightly disappointing, but still pretty nice. Most times I come out here, there'll be about 16 to 20 older folks, people older than me, pensioners, and some of them are pretty competitive. Others, I think, are really there just for the social aspect. Let's see if we can spot him. He's being loud. Oh, there he is. Just as I zoom, he flew away. That's too bad. So one thing you probably have noticed is there's no trash here. Park is remarkably clean. People pick up after themselves. There's trash cans spread throughout the park as well, but it's the way. Just you don't litter, and this brings up a pretty funny story. Several years ago, I was working for a marketing company and in fintech, and one of my American colleagues had this great idea that for a service project, we should go out to Sosnovka and pick up trash. And thought, hey, well, that's kind of a cool idea. So I said I'm in, and the company had been promoting service projects for our employees and whatnot, and so it seemed like a pretty good plan. We had some other non-American but foreign colleagues who joined us, and apparently somebody's boss got wind of this and decided that they needed to turn this into a PR project. So of course they sent out a camera crew, and so we get a cameraman, a sound guy, and their boss, and they come out and they're going to follow us around when we pick up trash in Sosnovka Park. And of course, we get out here with like a crew of 8 people, and we all arrive here, and there's no trash. We can't find trash. We're walking around. I mean, at best, we're picking up slivers of paper periodically, but nothing they can capture on camera. So it's like a PR disaster, or it's about to be. And so the boss of this film crew gets a grand idea that he'll just go grab a bunch of trash out of one of the trash cans. He'll spread it around in an area here in the forest, and then they'll just film us picking it up. And of course, it doesn't really sit well with me because I thought it was, kind of shady. Just felt dirty. And my colleagues, I don't think they were really comfortable with it either. But we all enjoyed our jobs and we wanted to keep them. So we went ahead and did it, and they filmed it. And but like I said, I wasn't really happy about it. And apparently, even once the PR department found out the circumstances behind it all, they decided not to publish any of it or use it in any of our ceremonies or anything else. So that's a good thing. But yeah, it was just kind of a dirty situation that left a bad taste in my mouth. But nonetheless, just goes to show. It's not just today, it's just in general. It's amazing how well maintained a lot of the public spaces are, especially when we see that aesthetics aren't so important in so many other aspects of Russian life. Apartment buildings often look older or dilapidated, even though on the inside they're really quite beautiful. But the public spaces like parks and metros they're kept up really, really well. And so that's remarkable. It's kind of a credit to some kind of concerted effort, because nothing like that happens by accident. This is 300 hectares. Okay. 300 hectares does not stay clean just because everyone's a good person. There's got to be people who make sure that, they pick up the trash from the weak links that drop it. So there you go. Another little story. We're going to travel on a little bit further and talk about another monument that's here to the dogs that were trained. So flip the camera back around and we'll go explore a little bit more. So I kind of think of the park as having 3 sets of pathways. You have the really large pathways, which we were on earlier, and then you have these kind of medium pathways. But every so often, we see a smaller path just kind of shoot off into the woods. And believe it or not, they all come out the other side somewhere. We're not going to do too much exploring because the breeze has kind of died down a bit. And as a result, the mosquitoes are starting to get a little bit braver, or at least they're not getting blown around as much. So I'll make the filming a little bit less comfortable for me. But yeah, as you can see here, we went from the medium path and then we have these small paths that just kind of cut through the forest, and it's really nice. It's you would never know that you're in a city, in the middle of a city of 6 million people. It's almost like taking a walk in the country. So I've been here dozens of times, and yet because it is so big, I have not been able to locate the canine memorial. But I did stumble upon this place, which is new to me. I have not been here before. It looks like a cemetery, all decorated up with Victory Day stuff. Sure enough, that's what it is. Sosnovka Memorial Military Cemetery. Very interesting. All right, so there's a plaque over here. Real quick, it says Memorialny kompleks sozdan na место Vysheva aerodroma Sosnovka. So essentially on this site of the Sosnovka airfield, this memorial complex was built, and these units, as a list of units underneath, were stationed here. And at the very bottom, it says Slava Защитникам Leningradskого Neba, which is glory to the Leningrad defenders of the sky. Pretty cool. So temperature-wise, just couldn't have picked a better day for a walk. It is just amazing out. Not too hot at all. Slight breeze. Sun peeking through the trees. Birds are chirping. Pretty outstanding day. With the kids out of school, quite a few of them are in the park on their bikes, some on scooters, although the paths really aren't really suitable for scooters. But you'll notice many of them aren't accompanied by their parents, but many of them are. Moms will be out here, babushki, keeping an eye on them. Wouldn't be too hard to get lost. So I've made my rounds just about all around Sosnovka today, and had a good walk and pretty nice. Somehow I must have made a wrong turn at Albuquerque because I totally missed the K9 memorial. One of the other wonderful things that has happened here in Sosnovka over the years is during the Patriotic War, they used the park as to set up a training facility for canines, and these canines worked hand in hand with their trainers to help demine the areas around Leningrad and St. Petersburg following the blockade. So once the blockade was broken, then of course you have all the mines that are set up around the city that need to be removed to make it safe for military and civilian personnel, of course. And so they had this Canine Institute that was created just for this task, and they built a memorial for them. And unfortunately, somehow I missed it. But hey, if I make my way back here and I find it, I'll definitely share it with you. In any event, hope you enjoyed a little bit of tour of Sosnovka Park and one of the wonderful features of St. Petersburg. There's so many. It's almost endless. The country's just so rich with history and stories, and I took it upon myself to kind of share some of those stories with you. Hope you enjoyed.